Yo, what's up? It's your favorite Samoan Barkeep here. Today, we're going to check out two samples that I got. These ones are bangers. Stay tuned. Let's find out what we're drinking. Alright, thanks for coming back to the channel. I'm Tolley, your favorite Samoan Barkeep, and tonight I'm trying out two banger samples. Both of these are courtesy of the man, the myth, the legend, Toast Malone, the YouTube troller. He loves trolling and starting fights on YouTube channels, but hey, I can't complain when he's dropping off banger samples like this. So, before we jump into these samples, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know how much it helps the channel. So what do we got here? We got WLW 2024, and we have GTS 2024. So, WLW versus GTS. These are both part of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, also known as BTAC. GTS is typically what I prefer. So it's going to be fruitier, like an amped up version of Stagg, whereas WLW is the wheater, so it's going to have kind of that funky wheat. It's also amazing, so I mean, I don't want to take away from either of these. They're both amazing pours, but my palate, I've always tended to prefer the GTS versus the WLW. But most of my buddies like the WLW. I'm kind of the outlier. So anyways, 24 GTS versus WLW. Let's go. I'll start with the wheater. Typical funky wheat smell. A little bit of so I get that wheat smell. I mean the wheat on the nose, and then kind of that funky rick house, wood, old dirty woods kind of smell. Let's try it out. Sorry, I didn't get barely any. I need to take a real sip. Ooh. So, you definitely feel the proof on that bad boy. I don't know the stats right off the top of my head. I'll get them for you in a minute. But you definitely feel that proof. I'd say it's got to be at least in the low 130s, high 120s. All right, so the WLW looks like it's coming in at about 125.8. So a little bit less, but you definitely, not in a bad way, but you definitely can feel that proof. So you don't get that funky kind of wheat that I get in a lot of wheaters. At least I don't. I get just kind of the fruity wheat. It's not sweet to me. Just fruit, wheat. And then a little bit of that oakiness on the back end. Very good, but I'm thinking I'm probably going to like this better without even trying them. This is delicious, but GTS is typically more my profile. If you're lucky enough to find the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection for MSRP, I think they're about $150. In Washington, if you found it at MSRP after you paid the hell tax, you'd be looking at like $185, which is, still not bad. So for secondary prices, GTS goes anywhere $600 to $750, higher the older it gets. And then WLWs are typically, $1,100 to $1,300. And again, as you get older, the price goes up usually. So let's get into this GTS. So on the nose of the GTS, you definitely get a lot more alcohol. Like it pops you. So I'm definitely going to say this one is a higher proof. Oh my goodness. It's like burning the inside of my nostrils. Oh, but it smells so good. So it definitely has that fruity note on it, the cherry that you get off a Stag. Let's try this out. I've been looking forward to this. Yeah. That's got to be higher than that 125. Oh yeah, that's coming at 136.1. That's definitely a hot one. I do get that fruity note on it. Man, I don't know if my palate is devolving or what's happening, but I used to love GTS, but now the last 2 years, it's getting real bitter oaky for me, like too much oak. I don't know what the ages are off the top, but it starts off really good, really fruity, really bright, but then at the end, that just gets that bitter oak, which I effing hate. I gotta try it again. Yeah, man, awesome right away, but then the tannic bitter oak is just not for me. Ugh. I'm gonna have to say, for me, 2024 WLW is where it's at. That one is delightful. You still get a lot of that proof. You get more sweetness. You get more sweet oak versus bitter oak. Still got enough proof to let you know you're drinking, right? 125.8, still solid amount of proof, but just you don't get the bitterness that you get on this GTS. So that's your winner, WLW 2024. Go ahead and pick that up. I'll say pick up both of them if you can, but definitely if you have to choose one or the other, go with the WL. All right, well, thanks again to Toast Malone for providing these samples. Appreciate you, brother. And if you have any extra BTACs, you want to help me out and help me get some of them, some more other than Thomas H. Handy, you can always hit me up. All right, well, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good one. Cheers. Okay. It's not as bad as I was letting on. Still a little bit bitter at the end, but you can't go wrong with either of these.